Hello, my name is Sean DiGiorgio. I am an actor-director here in Maryland, and I was invited out to give my top 5 picks here that inspire me. So we're gonna start with Singin' in the Rain. For those who don't know, Singin' in the Rain is a movie that depicts the transition from black and white silent films to talkies. And it's a movie within a movie, and it's very, very exciting and interesting in that way. It's very well known, the song, especially the famous scene of Gene Kelly singing and literally in the rain. A lot of people know about it, but not a lot of people have actually seen the movie and realized how beautiful of a film it is. This movie is a big inspiration for me, just because of how it was really a staple of its time. You know, movies at this point in the 1950s, you know, really stuck to one note. They didn't really throw that much at you story-wise and thought-provoking-wise. This has a very realistic and slightly comical interpretation of what it's like to actually be on a film set. It's very chaotic, it's very fun, it's very much like you are thrown into this giant cacophony of just like yelling and screaming and go over there, go over here, and it depicts that really, really well. Okay, so Dune. Oh my God, Dune. This was a movie. I remember seeing, for anyone who hasn't seen Dune, it is this crazy, crazy sci-fi story about this guy named Paul who is like gonna become like this spice Jesus, and his mom and all that are in this like thing. It is a crazy story. But why I picked Dune and why I will always come back to Dune, at least for right now, is the fact that it is the basis for a lot of my filmmaking studies currently. You know, Denis Villeneuve, the director, is a master of showcasing scale in movies, and that is something that interests me so much, and that is something that is amazingly present in Dune. In this one, you actually get time to see how the sandworms react with the ground, and how they literally and physically shake everything around them, how they're even something as simple as moving just shakes all the sand. It is incredible. It is so big, the story does not go ahead of itself. I find that sort of indie-esque on a massive, massive scale filmmaking just really charming. That's why I go to Dune for inspiration for a lot of my shots, and why it's the basis for my current research as a cinematographer. Next up, we have Rent, not specifically the movie version, but Rent in general. I mean, if you've seen any production of Rent, or if you've seen the film, it is a beautiful story about love and, you know, staying together with the people that are closest to you, even in the hardest times, even when people are literally dying around you and you're feeling like everything is crashing down. And it's just, you know, it doesn't inspire me as much as a filmmaker as it does inspire me as an artist. It's just about people who just want to live and have a life, you know, and it really inspires me. Jonathan Larson created this with some amazing people, and some of the original cast from Broadway is featured in the film. It's still something that you can go to and just bawl your eyes out and go afterwards and hug your family, hug your friends. There's just something to say about that, and I really respect Rent for everything it's done, not only for the world, but for film. So I believe this is the start of my desert island picks, and I personally don't think I could survive on a desert island without the amazing music of Billy Joel. Billy Joel is just, you know, it's an inspiration to me in film, you know, because I listen to Billy Joel's music, and I just think of all the ways I could put that music into a film, or write stories that go along with the stories of Billy Joel songs, and inspired by all this and that. But it's the stuff I grew up on. It's the music that I would listen to while going to my mom dropping me off at school. It's the music I would listen to on the way home. It's the music I would listen to when I go on walks, all this stuff. And this type of music is just synonymous with just how I was raised, and coincidentally how I decide to make art. And I think you can sum up a lot of my work by just listening to a few Billy Joel songs and then connecting the dots and be like, oh, that looks like it could be a Billy Joel song, or that a Billy Joel song could fit there. And you know, I mean, he's just a really good musician. All of his, I don't think I can name a song of his that I don't like. And it's just, I mean, you can't really beat that. If you can't say anything negative about him, like really, like what's wrong? So that's Billy Joel. I could not live without the serenity of William Joel. Uh-oh. My favorite movie. Film majors are gonna hate me for this, but my favorite movie of all time, one that I will always want to watch, is Jaws. Oh, I realized I was showing this the entire time. But yeah, it's Jaws. Jaws is a movie that really got me into filmmaking. I remember when I was a little kid, I used to be scared of any movie that was even remotely related to horror movies. So then when my parents were like, well, let's start you with Jaws. Maybe you'll like Jaws. I watched it and I just absolutely fell in love with it. I watched Jaws and then I immediately got all the behind the scenes clips that I could. I rented the behind the scenes documentary that they released. I rented all these things and I just watched and I got inspired and got like just hyped up to make as many movies as possible and just to start this being my passion. And it was an incredible moment that I do owe to Jaws. I feel like it's a perfect movie. The story's amazing. The visuals are great. It's sad. It's funny. It holds up. It's frightening, and it's just something that I can watch and always just have a new appreciation of filmmaking. All right, so these were my top 5 inspiration picks here at Wonderbook. Not gonna lie, that was one of the most challenging things I've ever had to do as a filmmaker. Just like going and having to pick things that inspire you when our job is to literally be inspired by everything in the world. That was difficult. That was really, really difficult. There are some things that I really wish I didn't have to put down, but it was extremely fun. I encourage a lot of people to go and just narrow down everything to 5 picks. Oh my God. But yeah, I mean, thank you to Wonderbook for letting us do this. I've been going here ever since I was a kid, so it's kind of cool that, one, they're still here with just a mind-boggling selection of absolutely anything you can think of, and 2, that there are still people who want to create art in Frederick and how they can use a place like this to find inspiration. Literally in every aisle, stocked with just a nauseating amount of just inspiration. It's amazing. It's amazing that a place like this exists, and it's definitely been a tool my entire life. So yeah, that's it for me in terms of what I have coming up next. I'm always in pre-production or in production of films with my production company, Teddy Bear Wedding, and then you can just look for my name in other Maryland films that come out over the next couple of years, and hopefully so on. So thank you for having me. This was fun. I enjoy it. All right, thank you.